Come on. Come on. Come on, figure it out. Yeah, there you go. You're so smart. Oh, God. Okay. Thank you, bud. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He's so sweet. Best boy. My best boy. Ah, thank you. Watch the lipstick. Hello everyone, I'm Superspective and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now before we get into the absolutely riveting stories that we have to tell you today, please go ahead and click that subscribe button so that way you'll become a part of this fun little community, and go ahead and click that bell button to be notified whenever we post a new video. That's right. Alright, get down. Friends, it is once again that time of the week where we detox over some tea talks. Now, if you're new to the channel or you simply just don't remember what that is, basically what's going to happen is I'm going to share with you some interesting tidbits or facts about my life. We're going to have a nice little sit down, a nice little one-on-one chat, and we're just going to get to know each other for a hot second. So please get comfy, get cozy, grab your favorite age-appropriate beverage. Today I'm drinking agua because I've had way too much caffeine today. And let's just get right on into it. Now this is a quick disclaimer / trigger warning. Today in our tea talk we are going to talk about mental illnesses and disorders, specifically in my own case bipolar disorder. I know that that is not the most comfy and cozy topic for everyone, so please, if that is something that is triggering to you or uncomfortable, please take the necessary steps for you to feel comfortable and cozy in this space. This is a wonderful safe space and I'm trying to be as lighthearted as possible. Or this is now your time to exit the video completely if that's just simply not your thing, and that's totally cool. Regardless, I am happy to have you here, and with all that said, done, and out of the way, let's get the ball rolling. So if you don't know, my name's Sue. I also happen to have bipolar disorder, specifically bipolar 2 disorder. If you want to know a little bit more of what that's like, I have a video that I've made that kind of explains in an analogy sort of sense what that's kind of like. It's roller coaster. I'll put it here. Feel free to check that out. I've also put links in that description to give you some more like professional input on what bipolar disorder is. But basically, in layman's term, bipolar disorder, whether it's 1 or 2, it's a mood disorder that makes your mood fluctuate more than I guess the atypical person would. I don't know if that's the correct terminology, so pardon my French if it's not. But yeah, basically you can go from depressed to fine to hypomania or manic in a very inflex time frame. It could either be triggered or just happens on its own, and it basically sort of impedes the way that you live your day-to-day life. More specifically, I do have bipolar 2 disorder. Basically what that is and how it differs from bipolar 1 is that instead of me going into a manic state when I'm in my high emotions, I do a hypomania. And I don't want to say that it's a less severe version of manic, but they are different in the sense of, I guess, the way that the chemical imbalance in your brain handles that. I'm very new to this, so please bear with me. Like I said earlier, I was diagnosed in June of last year, so it hasn't even been a full year of me knowing or really learning or processing what bipolar means, and especially what that means to me. So I'm just trying my best to continue to kind of grapple what this is and what this means. So again, if I say something incorrect, super apologies. I'm not a professional. I just happen to live with it. But in the short amount of time, being a couple months now of me officially having the diagnosis of bipolar disorder, I have learned a lot of things about myself. Along with that, I've learned a lot of like how I need to be taking care of myself, and I figure that because this is a very large component of my life and this channel is all about transparency, I figured that I would share some of the things I learned with you in hopes that it either resonates with you, whether you have bipolar disorder yourself, you are battling something else, or you have a friend that has bipolar disorder, whatever it is. I hope that this video sort of helps or gives some helpful tips and insights on how we can sort of conquer this together. Again, another disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional. I don't have a PhD in literally anything. If you have any questions about your mental or physical health, please go see a professional doctor to get your diagnosis. Along with that, I'm not trying to romanticize or glorify mental disorders or illnesses. This is just how my brain works. This is how I live my life to the best of my ability. So please don't take anything out of context and think that I'm trying to like wear this like a Girl Scout badge, because it's not. This is how my brain works. We're being very open and transparent here. It's not me gloating or anything. I'm just trying to be helpful. I'm trying my best. We're all human. It's okay. So one of the first things that I noticed that really kind of upset my disorder or the chemical imbalances of my brain is my sleeping and my eating schedule or habits. I've learned and I've noticed that if I'm very tired or if I oversleep, which is also not good, I am more prone to be irritated. I'm more prone to going into a depressive episode. I'm also more prone to lashing out at things that don't need to be lashed out on. And it's just not a good time. So I'm trying my best, or rather I am currently getting on a nice sleep schedule. I've learned that if I sleep past 10 a.m., it's probably going to be a rougher day, as opposed to if I woke up before 10 a.m. and got at the very least 7 hours of sleep. So that is something for me that's been very helpful that I've been managing. Along with that, my eating habits and schedule also greatly affect how my mood is going to change one way or the other. I've learned that if my blood sugar is low and I'm starting to get hungry, again, I'm a little more prone to being triggered, being irritated, going into a hypomania or depressive state, as opposed to if I've just eaten or I'm eating a snack and my blood sugar's not low. Does that kind of make sense? So I've done two things to sort of help manage my hunger. The first thing is to eat breakfast. I normally don't eat breakfast. If you know me in real life, you know that I absolutely fucking hate breakfast, but I'm slowly learning to enjoy it, because I've learned that if I eat breakfast, breaking the fast of not eating for 7 to 9 hours because you're sleeping, if I eat breakfast, the rest of my day is normally pretty solid, because I've started off right. I fixed the low blood sugar issue first thing in the morning. And along with that, I've also noticed that as I eat breakfast, my eating habits have gotten better. But I also get hungrier faster because I'm up and doing so many things. I'm either teaching martial arts, going to school, making YouTube. So I've learned to keep snacks on me. Let me show you. So these are my snacks. They're not the most healthy snacks, but they do the trick. They do the trick. So I always keep on my person fruit snacks or maybe a clementine. I also have these chocolates. I don't know what it is, but I've actually read that in some cases of bipolar disorder, you're more prone to be craving certain foods, either salty or sweet. My parents are yelling downstairs. They're watching WandaVision. Hold on. Anyways. I don't know what it is about bipolar disorder, but you tend to crave either salty or sweet foods. For me, it's the sweet ones. I've read that somewhere. I don't remember where, but again, correct me if I'm wrong, please. So yeah, snacks and eating have been a great sort of habit to improve on. To kind of help with the bipolar. You can't have these. The next thing that I've learned that has actually really helped is doing my own research on bipolar disorder, because sometimes when you get diagnosed, you don't get the full scoop of what that is, what that means, what does it do to your brain, your body, your social life, your romantic life, your career. You just kind of get a diagnosis and you're like, shit, well now what? And the only thing that you really have to go off of is sometimes media portrayals, and honestly, if we're being completely honest, a lot of those media portrayals are not very accurate. They definitely do a little more harm than good than what I've noticed. A friend, a really awesome, sweet friend, gifted me this book. It's the Bipolar Disorder Survival Guide. And it's built like a textbook, so you don't have to read it from cover to cover, but I'm trying my best to read it from cover to cover. And I really like this book. I'll link it down below, the Amazon link if you're interested, but it has real life stories from patients, and it has tips, and it has fun little, maybe not fun, but like questions to ask yourself and things of that nature, so that way you can better understand how the disorder works in your brain and how it affects your life, and areas in which you can try your best to improve. It's been so incredibly helpful, and it makes learning about the disorder a lot easier on me, because I'll read stories of people and I'd be like, I've definitely done that before, or I felt that before, and I thought I was going out of my fucking mind experiencing these things, when in actual reality it's a very normal thing to go through if you have bipolar disorder. That sounds really weird to say, that like overspending on something that you really don't need and then blanking out that you did that is a normal thing, but it kind of is if you live with bipolar disorder. I don't know, it's a weird feeling, but it makes me feel less alone, and it makes me feel less shameful about myself, because bipolar disorder isn't my defining character trait. It's just a very small portion of it, but sometimes it can feel so overwhelming. So definitely doing the research and reading more about it and understanding it makes it a lot easier for me to manage it and to control it and to fix patterns in my life that can help improve it. And along with that, it just makes you feel a lot less alone. Another thing that I've been doing is tracking my mood, and I actually do it on my phone. Let me pull it up and show you. It's called eMood. Yeah, eMoods. And it's a bipolar tracking, it's a bipolar tracking, fruit snacks in my mouth, app. And it asks you like, how many hours of sleep did you get? Did you have any extreme depressive moods, elevated moods, irritability, yada, yada, yada. I'd ask all those things on here, and you can track when you had an episode, how long you've gone without one, things of that nature. And like, for example, I'll show you February. February was okay. It was a little up and down, not gonna lie. And it shows you with these fun color coordinated dots. And it shows you kind of up and down where you were as opposed to the other days, and see if like, oh, so I had one here, I might be seeing a pattern there. Obviously, it's not going to work right away. Like, you're not going to see data results right away, but if you keep with it, you will. And if you're really big into tracking patterns, even though bipolar can be kind of not pattern orientated depending on who you are, I found it to be very helpful. I'm choking on a fruit snack. The fourth thing that I've picked up is I'm a very independent person, and along with that being very independent, I like to go out and about by myself, whether it's to run errands, to go like hiking or whatever. Like, I do a lot of things on my own, but I've learned that when you're alone, sometimes you don't have like backup, or rather immediate backup. So I have, everyone has a niche, okay? So before I pull this up and everyone makes fun of me, everyone has a niche, whether it's clothing, shoes, jewelry. My niche is bags. I like bags a lot. So I went out and I bought myself a bag. It's a very nice faux leather bag with a bunch of different pockets and compartments, and it's very big and it's comfortable. It's also a baby bag that I bought from Walmart. But yeah, my tip for bipolar disorder is, if you are a very like independent person and you like to go out, buy yourself a nice bag, because I can keep like notepads in here, all my snacks, extra water, extra battery chargers for phones and things like that, a contact sheet, Lord, what have you. Other things, like if I'm going to be out all day, like my iPad or like my camera. So everything's all in one nice little bag. And the biggest important thing for me is just carrying around those snacks or those water, because sometimes, or like extra cash too, that's also very important for like vending machines, because sometimes you can't get to like the nearest restaurant to get a full meal. But I'm like, oh, I packed myself like 5 clementines, so I can have 1 clementine right now while I find my way to get some food or take extra medicine and all that good fun stuff. So like baby bag. I personally like looking at the baby bag section, because I know for a fact they're gonna have a lot of pockets, and they're cute now. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. The last thing that I think is the most important to take away from all this is, like, we're all human. Disorder or not, illness or not, we're all human. We make mistakes, and that's fine. Because you kind of have to remember, and this is something that I'm trying my best with, this is a battle that I fight constantly, is that I'm not my disorder. It's just something that's a part of me that I have to deal with, and that's okay. Some days are better than others, but again, there's more to me than just a diagnosis from the doctor. And it's hard. Like, not gonna lie, it's hard to wake up some days and then wonder, are we going to be lucid the whole time? Is it just gonna spring up out of nowhere? Like, what do we do? What do we do? But I have to remember that that's just part of how my life works. But we have ways, we have tools, resources, people to help us out if that happens. And yeah, just try your best. Get help. Talk to your doctor. Talk to your friends, family, whoever you feel comfortable with to fill them in, and know that you don't have to do it alone. And this is one thing I wish I could say to myself when I was first diagnosed and when I was first struggling with this on my own, is to love yourself. And if you find that you can't do that right now, it's okay. I will love you for you, just for as long as you need. But just know that you got it. It's okay. Does that make sense? I don't know. But yeah, those are just some of the things that I picked up, that I learned along the way. I hope it helped at least a little bit, and if not, I'm sorry. Hopefully I can come back with some more helpful tips as I kind of learn about this more and more with every day. Is a learning process. But yeah, those are my tips and tricks. Too long, didn't read. Take care of yourself. Do what you think is best for you in your life situation, and you've got it. There's no doubt in my mind that you don't got it. I promise. Well, I think that is all the tea that I have to spill. I have a little bit of a headache, but that's okay. I probably need to eat something if I'm being completely honest. If you liked and enjoyed this video, please go ahead and click that like button so that way I know I need to make more of this kind of content for you. If you want to see more of this adorable face, please go ahead and click that subscribe button so that way you'll be a part of this fun little community here. We would love to have you, and you might as well go ahead and follow me on my socials. She kind of cute and funny or whatever, hey? I'm Sue. Thank you so incredibly much for listening to my perspective. I know that this was a little bit different than the normal stuff that I talk about, but hey, this is part of my life, so why hide it? But yeah, I'm Sue. Thank you so much for listening to my perspective, and I will see you next Wednesday. Mwah!